Disclaimer before the video starts, obviously use whoever the f*** you want. This video is only for the meta reds who wanna clear any and everything as fast as possible, so please don't cry in the comments and enjoy the video. The best team right now consists of Calcharo, Jianxin and Verina, and here's why and how. Our main damage dealer is gonna be Calcharo. He's an electro type DPS character and he works perfectly with Jianxin as a support. There's 3 main weapons you're gonna wanna be using with Calcharo, the best one being the Lustrous Razor. If you manage to get all 3 stacks of its passive skill, you're gonna be doing an incredible amount of damage. The Lustrous Razor also increases energy regen by 12.8%. When resonance skill is released, increases resonance liberation damage by 7%, stacking up to 3 times. This effect lasts for 12 seconds. So that means you're gonna be using your echoes more efficiently with this weapon. The second best weapon is gonna be Jiyan's weapon, and it almost does the same amount of damage, only dealing 3% less. So if you are lucky and not an unlucky f*** like me, you can also use this weapon on Calcharo. And the third best weapon for Calcharo is gonna be the Autumn Rays. It increases your attack by 4% for just dealing basic attacks or heavy attacks, stacking up to 5 times. This effect lasts for 7 seconds and you can also trigger it every second, so that means you're gonna be doing a shit ton of damage with this weapon with Calcharo. As for his echoes, you're gonna be wanting to use the Tempest Mephis as his main slot, and as the second slot the Thundering Mephis, and the main and subsets you're gonna be wanting to aim for are crit rate for the main stats, crit damage percentage, and attack percentage for the substats. These are the most important stats for his main 4 cost echoes, and for the 1 cost echoes you're gonna be wanting to aim for attack percentage. The echo formation you're gonna be wanting to use with Calcharo is gonna be 4-4-1-1-1 because it's much easier to farm right now than farming a 4-3-3-1-1 formation. So for the 4 cost echoes, aim for crit damage, crit rate percentage, and attack, and for the 1 cost echoes you're gonna be aiming for attack percentage. And before we continue the video, I try to stream regularly on twitch.tv/netayuki at 2 PM CST, so if you enjoy the video, please feel free to check it out. And let's continue with the video. The second team member is gonna be Jianxin, our sub DPS. She is the perfect pair for Calcharo because her outro skill amplifies electro damage by 20% and resonance liberation damage amplified by 25% for 14 seconds. And as Calcharo is our main electro DPS dealer, it's the perfect match for him. As for her weapons, her signature weapon, the String Master, is obviously the best in slot for her because it gives you an insane amount of crit rate and it also gives her 12% extra damage. So if you manage to get it, which I'm obviously not jealous about, you should use the String Master 100%. The second best weapon in slot for her is gonna be the Augment weapon from the Battle Pass, which is the only other weapon besides the String Master who's gonna provide her with crit rate. And the third best weapon for her is gonna be the Jinzo Keeper, which provides her with a good amount of attack percentage, so it's gonna be good for a DPS because she is our sub DPS. And of course, if you have the Cosmic Ripples, you can use it on her as well because it's obviously the second best weapon, but I didn't include it because it's just really not worth it to pull for that weapon just for Jianxin. So if you have it, use it, but if you don't have it, don't pull for it just to use it on Jianxin. It's not worth it. For her echoes, there's only 2 sets you're gonna be going to consider, which are gonna be the Void Thunder set or the Moonlit Cloud set. If you use the Moonlit Cloud set, you're gonna have 10% energy regen and also increased attack damage for the next resonator by 22.5% for 15 seconds. And if you use the Void Thunder set, you're gonna be getting for the 2 set 10% extra electro damage, and if you have the 5 set, you're gonna be getting 15% electro damage after releasing heavy attacks or resonance skills, and you can stack it up to 2 times for 15 seconds. And even though the Moonlit Cloud set is really good with the energy regen, as our sub DPS, you should probably take the extra damage, all the extra damage you can get, and use the Void Thunder set on Jianxin. Jianxin is also gonna be using a 4-4-1-1 formation, and that's what we're gonna use on every character on our team, because as I mentioned, 4-4-1-1 is much easier to farm at this stage of the game, so if you're gonna get the strongest quickly, you should use a 4-4-1-1 formation. For the main slot, you're gonna be using the Tempest Mephis, not the Thundering Mephis, because if you use the Tempest Mephis, when you attack with him, you can cancel out the animation, switch your character, and the Tempest Mephis is still gonna be doing damage. And for the main and substats, for the main stats for your 2 4 pieces, it's gonna be either crit damage if you have a crit rate weapon, and if you don't, crit rate. And for the 1 cost echoes, again, you're gonna be choosing attack percentage, substats and main stats. And now for the third character, and probably the most important character in every team. If you want to beat everything in this game, you have to get Verina into your team because she's cracked. She's the best healer in the game. She heals the next character that activates an outro skill by 90% of her attack per second for 6 seconds, and also every character on your team gets a 15% damage buff. So Verina is on your team. As long as you don't get one shot, it's almost impossible to die with Verina on your team. And now let's get to her weapons. There's only 2 weapons you should consider for Verina. At number 1 being Variation, which is the best weapon for her because it gives her energy regen and it builds your meter for swapping, and you can do your ultimate faster with this weapon. And the second one is Rectifier Voyager, which gives you ultimate energy if you use a skill, and it also gives you energy regen. So these are the 2 weapons you will be wanting to use for Verina. Now for her echoes, the main one you're gonna be wanting to use is the Bellborn Gear Trinity, the big ass turtle. It's the most important echo for her. The biggest turtle deals glacier damage based on the character's defense to nearby enemies. It also provides 50% damage reduction and 10% damage boost for the current team members. It disappears after the character you use it on gets hit 3 times or after 15 seconds. And for the echo stats, you're gonna be looking for healing bonus or for attack, because the healing also actually scales off her attack. The echo set you're gonna be wanting to use on Verina is gonna be the Rejuvenating Glow set. You should aim for the 5-piece set because you get 10% healing bonus, and you also increase the attack of all your characters in the team by 15% for 30 seconds upon healing allies. But make sure you actually use the Rejuvenating Glow echo and not the wrong one, so you don't waste any XP. So this is the strongest team in Wuthering Waves. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe and comment. See you guys next time.